homogenization and standardization. Otherwise, you kill the ability of the system to be innovative and to adapt and to grow. Whereas, if you want to control from the top, always the pressure, those of you who work in companies, and I think in governments, is to put one-size-fits-all standards all over the place. And of course, all our states tell us, please don't apply this one-size-fits-all to us. We are different. Let us evolve our own rules for ourselves, our own strategies. And so please maintain diversity. Fourth one, and this is very important in human systems, we are talking of a process of evolution, which is a self-managed process of evolution. Things do evolve in nature. Nature also evolves. It also follows the rules of minimal critical rules, permeable boundaries, as well as the diversity in nature. But the fourth thing, which is consciously deciding what we want to be, we don't know whether systems in nature do it, but we human beings do. So we need to have a shared vision of what we want to get towards. And we will use the other three principles to enable the system to get us to where we want to go. And what is missing, I feel as a country as a whole, like being quite candid, is that we're missing a shared vision of what sort of country we want to be. And that also is there. So that's the fourth rule. So it's a process of redesigning the airplane while flying it. If we're in it, we're going to have to change it as we are in it. And that's what the changing of regulatory environment is about. You will be living with the present regulations and institutions. While living in them, you're going to have to make a new shape to these regulations and institutions. It's a scary exercise to redesign a plane as you're flying, and therefore when you ask people to change things as they are in terms of regulations, they feel that something will go wrong, and might well. So we apply then to say, well, let's start considering what would be the impact of dropping this one, what would go wrong, what's the risk, versus dropping another one. Oh, that's a greater risk. But we shall simplify, we shall reduce the rules so that we come to the minimal critical regulations that are necessary. So I'm going to just stop here and say, well, I've thrown an idea out for discussion. I do hope that I've seen the speakers at the next session, and if you're being guided by what you said in your paper, I think this will have to be driving your discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Arun Maira, for delivering what I think was the most thought-provoking, and some of the ideas that you have kind of laid out. I think it will take some time for everybody to absorb those ideas and put them in place. But I think it was a very erudite and a fitting beginning to this session. So thank you very much. May I now, and I guess there will be some questions. We'll have some time for questions if the Minister permits after the Minister's address. May I now request Shri Partha Chatterjee, the Honourable Minister of Commerce and Industries, Industrial Reconstruction, Public Enterprises, Parliamentary Affairs and Information Technology, Government of West Bengal, to please give his inaugural address.
Mr. Gaurav Sharup, Chairman FICCI, West Bengal State Council, Mr. Arun Maira, Member Planning Commission, Government of India, Dr. Rajat Kathuria, and other dignitaries sitting in front of me, Dr. Narvaz K. Dubas, V.K. Munni. I'm just listening what the speakers had to say. First I have heard Rajat, and then Mr. Sharup, and then finally blow by Mr. Arun Maira what the cabinet has to do. Sitting beside him, consuming the what perhaps the cabinet ministers do not know. I slightly differ. We are in the government, in the state. Whatever Mr. Mora has said today, we have translated into practice already. So, let me know that our government has a mission, vision, and we are a government of consultative, participative management type. I am extremely grateful to you that you remind us 5 rules. First of all, regulatory framework you have told, then you have said the manufacturing had to be given more thrust. Then third, the MSME to be given more weightage. Then enabling more production in manufacturing in the country and the human asset development. I am just thinking what we have done in our government. We have implemented all 5 things. To start with, you said the consultation. We are the first government in our state. When we came to power, our Honorable Chief Minister declared that the members of the chambers and the important industrial captains to be formed a core committee, and it will be a consultation between the chambers and the government in terms of major policy making of our government. And you will be delighted to know that we have declared our industrial policy and investment policy. We have declared our ICT and incentive policy. We have declared MSME policy. We have declared textile policy only after consultations with the industrial captains and the chambers. And the majority points viewed by the chambers are already incorporated in our policy decisions. So I'm grateful to Mr. Mehra for reminding all of us at least the way one should think, and we are already not only making statement, we are practicing it in a manner so that we can do it better and we can perform well in present and future too. I am truly delighted to participate in today's seminar organized by FICCI, Indian Council for Research and International Economic Relations, and CAS Foundation on India's regulatory framework and the 12th five-year plan. This is indeed a very important area for discussion and debate. All these organizations have an important role to play in shaping public opinion and policy making, and I do hope you all will continue this effort in future. The mantra of 12th five-year plan is faster, sustainable and more inclusive growth. Our Mahamati Manush government has always been committed to objective of the inclusive growth. We have been engaged in programs that seeks to address the objective for years growth which would bring tangible benefit to the weaker sections, women, the SC/ST, minorities and other deprived groups of society. Much has been discussed and debated on the advantages of West Bengal. I do not have any to elaborate potential of the state before this August audience. We are happy to share in 2012-13, the NSDP of our state grew at 7.62% and per capita NSDP grew at 6.65%. On our industrial sector also grew by 6.24%, which was twice as high as countries with 3.12%. I truly believe that West Bengal can play a vital role in the overall economic and social development of the country by becoming the economic growth engine of India. Now that moratorium and environmental clearance for few industries in Haldia, Asansol and some parts of Howrah districts has also been lifted by the Ministry of Environment and Forest, Government of India, due to our persistent efforts and our compliance to the pollution controlling norms, I am sure this will unfold tremendous opportunities for industrial investments in these regions. Business regulatory frameworks are indispensable in creation and promotion of successful business environments in our country. We do not want our businesses' growth to be hampered by myriad ambiguous, vast business regulations and poor enforcement. Several positive steps have already been taken by our government in this regard, and we know we have many more miles ahead of us. Let us focus today on what we have achieved. As you all may be aware, recently industrial policy has been unveiled by our government, and first I would like to highlight some of the thrust area of new West Bengal Industrial Policy 2013. We promise to nurture and support the labor-intensive micro, small and medium enterprises and revive the industries that were the hallmark of the state like jute and tea. We will leverage the core competence and rich natural resource base of the state for mid-size and large-scale industries in manufacturing and engineering, chemical, petrochemical and its downstream, hydrocarbon industries, food processing and agro, cement, steel, paper, leather, textile, tourism and IT sectors. We welcome the latest technology and FDI, especially in manufacturing, sunrise industries and high-tech areas of promise and promote local entrepreneurships and employment. We utilize the potential of large technical and creative manpower in IT, entertainment and electronics and upgrade the skills of human resource to meet the global standards. For rules, Moya has said rules, laws. Recently, an investor has to fill in 99 pages prior to our taking over as a government. With the help of the chambers, we have reduced from 99 pages to 7 pages. And we have already introduced a single window called Shilpo Sathi. Now we are introduced e-enabled services in the single window system. We will focus on policy reforms and business processes re-engineering for creating ease of doing business through the creation of single window system for industrial startups. We will partner with industry players in the areas of industrial infrastructure, power communication, roads, bridges, ports, airports, tourism, hospitality, health, education sector in the state to work with in PPP mode. Facilitating ease of doing business is a key component of any business regulatory framework. We are determined to eliminate systematic bottlenecks in the process of industrialization in the state. We have introduced Shilpa Shati, single window clearance for industrial proposals, where the number of pages documentations for starting a new business reduced from 99 pages to 7 pages. The state government would bring out an act for implementation of single window clearance. Gradually, we will also work towards web enablement of the single window system to bring the process online. For better management of the affairs, the state has also undertaken the largest IT-driven reform process. This includes major steps in simplification of tax structure and creating a tax-friendly regime. Mainly our G2B processes, including administration of commercial tax, stamp duty and registrations, are already web-enabled and business-friendly. We have started using e-tendering and e-procurement, minimizing the time and space for execution of government projects. We have published ready land bank information in the public domain, and we are bringing the best talent and knowledge in the private sector in planning and transaction advisory services from the empaneled firms. Industrial land is being made available through industrial parks of WBIDC, WBSIDC, and other state agencies. The West Bengal State Support for Industrial Scheme 2030 has been declared to provide an array of incentives to industry. The state will pay 8% annual interest on the monetary incentive due to an industrial unit in cases of delays, which is a landmark step. As you all are aware, manufacturing sector can serve as a pivotal around which various other sectors can evolve, and by boosting manufacturing sector, spillovers to other sectors could be created. In 1975-76, share of manufacturing sector in West Bengal economy was 19%. In 2008 and 9, this figure had fallen to mere 7.4%. In order to create a paradigm shift in the manufacturing sector, we are committed to increase manufacturing growth rate from 4.7% to 20% at the end of the year of policy, and to achieve at least 25% share of the NSDP for manufacturing sector. The government will develop a state manufacturing competitiveness program in line with the national program to achieve this goal. Employment generation is one important pillar of any strategy of inclusive growth. Our goal is to create jobs for about 1.3 million people in 2013-14 and sustain this momentum in near future. We also believe that physical and industrial infrastructure and generation of electricity from renewable energy sources, and has set a target of setting up 2,706 megawatt capacity from these resources by the end of 13th plan. The state to have 4 operational airports by 2013. One of the airports, an Aero City, spread over more than 1800 acres at Andal near Durgapur, with estimated 10,000 crore investment, including considerable FDI, was very recently inaugurated by Honorable Chief Minister Ms. Mamata Banerjee. The state government has taken a key policy decision to start operations of helicopter services and seaplanes. We have already signed an MOU with Pawan Hunks for helicopter transport services. 2 deep sea ports, one at Sagar in South Chব্বিশ Pargana, other at Roshilpur in East Midnapur, both in PPP mode. The state has moved to a no band. He is talking about production, how to get higher production, Mr. Moira, and you will be delighted to see that the state has moved to a no band regime. Man days lost has drastically reduced from 65 lakhs 80,000 man days in 2010-11 to 5,200 in 2012-13, which is a major step in direction of the image makeover for the state for attracting industrial investments. Our state is the only state which has introduced a state policy on PPP to facilitate private investment in